me see if I could stack all these books, because this is a bad idea. Oh, this is a bad idea. But I'm going to keep doing it. Okay. Oh, God. I think maybe I'll do outtakes in this video. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay. Hi there, it's me, Amanda Marie, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing the great summer book haul of 2022. Hi, Freege. So I have tried recording this video multiple times over the course of, God, I don't know. The first time I tried recording this video, it was only going to be a June book haul, and I recorded it at the end of July, and I just realized that I never did anything with that footage, and it is now September. So I have decided to pile up all of the books that I have purchased since June, so from June to August, and do a massive haul for y'all. So yeah, let me go get the books. I have a feeling that I might have to reposition how my camera is set up, because there's a lot, so we'll see. Ooh. Stack 1. This is stack 2, and it includes this book, actually. Stack 3, as you can see, running out of room already. And a book of the month box I didn't even open yet. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab my tripod because I think I need a little more space here. So, yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. This is 30 bucks. I want to try to make this video 30 minutes maximum. One of my best friends, Leanne, suggested that I make this like a speed dating 30 seconds per book type thing. I post in preparation for this video, I have little post-it notes on every book to kind of talk about what they're about and what I picked it. So maybe we should try it. Should we do, I feel like this is going to be chaotic, but I'm going to put 30 seconds on the clock, and oh, not 30 minutes, holy crap. I'm gonna put 30 seconds on my timer. 30 seconds, can you see it? And let's see if we can do this. If not, then I'm gonna blame her for it not going well. Just kidding. Ready, set, go. Okay, first book, You Reached Sam. You know what reached me? Those Goodreads targeted banner ads. So I kept seeing this gorgeous cover all over Goodreads, and I had to get it. 17-year-old Julie has her summer planned, but her boyfriend Sam dies. She calls his voicemail and Sam picks up, and the tagline is, "What would you do if you had a second chance at goodbye?" I had to get this book. Ooh. 30 seconds. All right, here we go again. Ooh. No, I guess it only works if I repeat. Okay, next book. This Vicious Grace. This is a fantasy, dark fantasy rom-com. 3 weddings, 3 funerals. Her gift can save or it can kill. Again, the cover. I honestly didn't remember what this book was about when I was summarizing it. All I know is that this cover is beautiful, and that's why I wanted to read it. I feel like that's going to be the theme for a lot of these books, and I will not be shamed. All right, 30 seconds. I feel like there's got to be a better way to do this. Okay, 30 seconds. I have two books here by Emily Henry. These are actually part of 4 books that I ordered with this theme. So 2 Colleen Hoover books, 2 Emily Henry books, and these were part of a book club pick. So I have started 2 book clubs. One is the Sick Ass Reads book club, which is a group of my friends from a cancer server that, okay, I'm gonna cheat on this one because it's technically more than 1 book, so I'm gonna cheat. So the Sick Ass Reads book club, we were talking about, well, they were talking about Colleen Hoover and how much they love Colleen Hoover books, and I mentioned that I hadn't read it, any of them. I think I read Verity, but I didn't realize it was a Colleen Hoover book until after. So they decided to pick these 2 books to read. And I started talking about like all of those book talk romance books, and that's how I got to these. And so these are the 4 books that started the Sick Ass Reads book club. So I'm going to do 30 seconds to talk about both of these. Okay, so this is the one I started, book lovers. This is the one that I started first. I haven't gotten too far into it, but this is a literary agent and an editor enemies to lovers book. I haven't finished this yet because I work in publishing and I spend all of my time talking about books, and for some reason it has been making reading about people who work in publishing really difficult for me. I love it so far. I like the tension. I don't know. I don't know why I can't get into it. So, this book is 2 different authors. So this is Beech Read. These are 2 different authors. One writes literary fiction, the other writes best-selling romance, and they both end up having neighboring beach houses. Both of them are stuck in a writing rut. And so they strike a deal. Augustus, the literary thick brooding guy, has to write something happy, and January, who is the best-selling romance novelist, has to write the great American novel. I haven't gotten to this one yet. I was planning on reading it for like a summer beachy themed read, but I've been in a bit of a reading slump these past couple of months. So more on that later. I already talked about these 2 books, but I'm just going to mention them really quickly. Ugly Love and November 9. I don't really remember how we came to these selections. I think somebody in the group mentioned that this was the one that they had been wanting to read, and then someone else said it was really good, so we picked this one. I'm also happy. I'm a November baby, so it's a little biased in wanting to read this one. And Ugly Love is the book that I keep seeing on TikTok, so I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Is the timer gonna get annoying? Maybe, but let's keep going. I started this theme and I'm gonna finish it. God damn it. Okay. 10,000 Doors of January. This is set in 1900s, a journey of self-discovery after finding a mysterious book. I am not gonna lie, this is another, the cover got me. This was in a list on bookshop.org of books that were coming soon, and so I had it in my cart for a little while because it is absolutely gorgeous, and I love a story about a mystery book that sets off a whole plot. So, okay. Next book, Nun Shall Sleep. This book takes place in Quantico, Virginia in 1982. Two teenagers team up to solve a serial killer who is killing teenagers with the FBI. That was so weirdly said. Okay, 2 teams team up with the FBI to solve a serial killer who is targeting teenagers. There we go. And that's all the time I've got. All right. 7 Days in June. This book was in my bookshop book cart for 3 months, I think. And I finally bought it when I bought my June or early July haul. I had been wanting to read this for a while, and I finally read it. It is probably my favorite book of this summer. I was sobbing through it, and I am having a hard time trying to even come up with a review for it. I have been writing this review for over a month, so eventually I'll get to it, but this right here is my favorite book of the summer so far. All right, 30 seconds on the clock. This technically counts as 2 books for me. I bought, so this is volume 2 of the Lore Olympus set. I read most of the webtoons for a while, and then to be honest, I completely forgot the app existed on my phone, and I haven't kept up with any of the webtoons that I have subscribed to on there, but I read the first volume. I think volume 2, this volume this is going so bad, is where I left off in the webtoon series to begin with. I've already also pre-ordered volume 3, which will be shipping out in October. So technically, I'm gonna count this as 2 books for my Great Summer Book Haul, because technically I bought both books in July. This is a book of the month pick. This is called The Bodyguard, and it is a fake dating book I'm really excited to read. So actually she is the bodyguard in this situation, and her subject is this man who is somewhat famous and has a stalker, and so when he returns to Texas to be with his sick mother, he needs a cover he needs someone to protect him, and so she takes on, and in order to make it not seem weird, they are fake dating. Really exciting. Another sick ass reads book that I didn't get to the first day of spring. This one seems really, really dark. An 8-year-old girl kills a little boy, and 20 years later, her past is catching up to her. I really wanted to read this. I was one of the people who picked it for the month, and I'm really sorry that I didn't read it. But I was reading the synopsis on Storygraph, and there were a couple of content warnings that I was like, oh, this is a little too heavy. So I skipped this one. I will get to it eventually. I wonder if that sound is going to get annoying to you. I'm really sorry. Okay. Book number, whatever number we're on. Once there were wolves, 2 sisters leave Alaska to rehome 10 woods in Scotland until a farmer comes up dead, and they need to figure out, is the killer one of the wolves that they care about, or one of the men that one of the sisters is falling for. This is a very, very pretty jacket. Okay, I'm not gonna time this one because we have another two-booker. So these 2 books are from the King Killer Chronicles by Patrick Rothfuss. We have Name of the Wind, and the second book is Wise Man's Fear. These 2 books, someone I work with suggested them to me. I have just started this new job, and he is one of the account managers that I work with. And I was asking him, like, you know, we were kind of trying to get to know each other, and I asked him, oh, what are some of your favorite books? And he could not stop raving about how great these were. And I told him I have always been a bit intimidated by high fantasy, and so my challenge for this year was to read more high fantasy novels and more romance. And so he suggested that I pick these up. And in reading the synopsis after work, I realized that I actually really wanted to read it. I was really excited for it. So knowing myself, I bought the first 2 books because I knew that I would just kind of fly through them. And I was right. The other day I went downstairs to read with the dogs, and I felt like I blinked and I had read 200 pages in one sitting. So very good. I'm halfway through the first book. I can't wait to start the second book, and apparently the third book has yet to be written, and I will be very upset when I get to that point. But for now, I am in a good reading bliss. Okay, I'm gonna set up the timer again. Next book is dun, 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 Night Swim. This book was an Amanda Marie Reads book club pick. I'm going to click the link below if you want to join our book club. Book of the Month actually did a book club beta test, which I guess is no longer, but this was our first book of the month book club pick. It is, I read it, I liked it, but I have some reservations about it. I will write my reviews soon. I will say that it is quite obvious to me that this was inspired by the Chanel Miller Brock Turner case, and I would highly suggest that if you haven't read it yet, you read Chanel Miller's book, Say My Name. It is so well done and so powerful, but I digress. This is already over the 30 seconds. Book review to come on this. I'm really behind with my book reviews, and I'm trying to get better at it, but I don't know. I'm just kind of all over the place lately. Okay. Book of Night by Holly Black. This is what I think shadow writers should have been. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I write a book at the beginning of this year called Shadow Writer as part of a book challenge that one of my friends and I are doing, and I forced myself to get through that book, and it was awful. And I feel like this is probably, well, it's not even in comparison. This is definitely going to be better than that. But the basis is even your shadow can be stolen. The protagonist of this book can control shadows, and yeah, that's all I have to say. I don't really know much else about this book. I do want to get to read it. I will read it eventually. I am really sorry I did not like the Shadow Writer book, and we'll never read that series. We'll never finish it. It was awful. Okay, next, Things We Do in the Dark. A woman named Paris is found dead. A woman named Paris is found in her bathroom with her dead husband and arrested. 25 years earlier, there was a similar crime in Canada in which Ruby Reyes was convicted. She is now coming out of prison, and she threatens to tell the world who Paris really is. So, excited. I'm not even going to time this next one. All Good People Here by Ashley Flowers. I am a massive crime junkie. I love true crime podcasts. And the way that Ashley Flowers and Britt Prayawat, I'm so sorry if I didn't pronounce that correctly, please forgive me. But the way that their style of podcasting, their style of reporting, their style of investigation is so good, and it is so clearly shown in Ashley Flowers' first fiction novel, first novel, really. And let me tell you, for a debut, this was really good. I finished it in a day. I actually got the NetGalley Advanced Uncorrected Proof on my Kindle, and that's where I read it. I read it about a month and a half ago. The review is up. I will link the spoiler-free review down below. And as soon as I finished reading it, my mind was blown. Like full body chills. It was so good. And I immediately pre-ordered the hardcover book. So this isn't the copy that I read. I will probably go back and reread the book because I want to see, the version that I had was uncorrected, so I want to see if there were any changes, but read this book. Okay, timer coming back on. We're making good progress here. We're only 18 minutes of film. Who knows how much that really is once I edit it down, but we're doing good. We're doing good. Leanne, this was an excellent idea. I will wholeheartedly give you the credit because I don't think that I would have been able to go through this pile if you hadn't suggested that I did it this way. So, all right, credit where credit is due. Going back, time and again. Okay, time and again. I'm starting the timer over because I messed up what I was saying. So this was recommended to me by a former, I guess she was my boss. She was my boss's boss. And it was actually, my boss's boss from the company that Lee and I worked at, and also how I met Leanne. But anyway, so this was recommended to me by her. It is her favorite book of all time. And now that I think about it, I probably already have this book in storage. But it's a story about time travel. This man, Cy Morley, goes back in time to 1882, New York City, and it is about him trying to figure out where he is, what he's doing, and whether or not he wants to go back. Quick break from my timer. This is my August book of the month box. I have not opened it until today. I already pre-opened it to save you the pain of having to watch me struggle to open yet another box. So here are my August book of the month book picks. I have 2 of them. Oh my God, look at the bookmark that came in. Read like your TBR is watching. That is so ominous. I love these bookmarks. Like I have a stack of them that I save. I do use them, but I absolutely love these bookmarks. I think I'm gonna frame this one because I should be reading like my TBR is watching me. So both of my picks for August are Bronze Drum and Small Angels. And I am going to start the timer again. Okay, I'm gonna start with Small Angels. A wedding in a small English village attracts a malicious spirit. It is a book about sisterhood, first love, and hauntings. To be honest, I wasn't too keen about the book of the month picks for August. And I hope these books prove me wrong. I kind of just picked this one on a whim, and yeah. This one though, I also mildly picked this one on a whim. This one is based on a true story. It is a novelized version of a true story about the Trung sisters who raised an army of women to overthrow the Han Chinese and rule over United people in Vietnam, or in what is now Vietnam. I am surprised about, I was very surprised. I'm gonna pause. I know my timer's gonna go off. Okay. Really quickly, I was very surprised to see that that was what this book is about, because I recently listened to another podcast called Noble Blood, which is extremely good. If you haven't read it, I would highly suggest that you do so. I mean, if you haven't listened to it, I highly suggest that you do so. But there is an entire episode that just released, I think this past week, about these 2 sisters. And it is an excellently done coverage about the true story that's behind this book. And so when I was writing my little post-it note on the back about what this book is, I was so pleasantly surprised, and now I'm really excited for this book. Shout out to Dana, who is the host, Dana Schwartz, excuse me, who is the host of Noble Blood, and who actually wrote her first novel, Anatomy and Love Story, which I have on my shelf. I also pre-ordered it as soon as I found out that she was writing a book, and I keep telling myself I'm going to read it next, and I keep forgetting. So I'm really sorry, Dana. I promise you I'll read that book. Talking to her like I know her. Okay, I'm not going to time these 2 because I don't think they count. These are special edition books that I bought on Etsy. This is the UK edition of V.E. Schwab's The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. And it is, I bought it on Etsy because A, it's the UK edition, and B, it has these beautiful sprayed edges. And I was inspired by one of my friends, Gina, who has 11 copies of this book. And she collects different copies of her favorite books. I think like I said, she has 11 of these. And I have always wanted to start my own collection. I have a couple of copies in storage of some of my favorite books in multiple editions, and I want to start doing that too when I have my own place and my own space. So, yes. Okay. Continuing on. The other book that I got from this shop, which I think is called Painted Pages Library. I'll link the Etsy shop that I bought these from below. This is the 10th anniversary edition of The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. Absolutely gorgeous book. It comes with a gold ribbon bookmark, and the edges are sprayed gold with glitter, and there is a stencil of a laurel leaf on the spine. Not on the spine, excuse me, on the pages. And it is so beautiful. When I saw it, oh my god, when I saw these two books, when I opened this box, I was so emotional. It's so beautiful. Okay, I've got a couple more books to go, so let's get back to it. Okay, I'm a little. All right, Be Not Afraid of Love. These are a collection of essays by Mimi Zhu, the author of this book. And Mimi is a survivor of intimate partner abuse, and these are their essays of them relearning love and how to be loved. I am not going to go into too much detail, but I am a sexual assault survivor, and I have found that I am also trying to navigate my way through figuring out how to eventually get back out there. And so when I saw this book on bookshop.org, it really called out to me, and I am just trying to get myself through mentally and emotionally prepared to read this book. But yes, Be Not Afraid of Love, Lessons on Fear, Intimacy, and Connection. Okay, continuing in the theme of very dark things. Grief is the thing with feathers. This story is about two boys dealing with a mother's sudden death. After their mother passes away, they are visited by Crow, who is part antagonist, part trickster, part babysitter, and part healer. This novella is in itself multifaceted. It is part novella and part polyphonic fable and part essays into grief. I will be honest, I skimmed over what the summary of this book was when I picked it out on Bookshop. I saw the title, I saw the cover, and I thought to myself, wow, that is a very powerful title. Over the past couple of years, I have lost several people who are very close to me. I have lost 2 pets, and in reading the title, Grief is the Thing with Feathers, I mean, it's true. So, yeah, Grief is the Thing with Feathers. Another book that I am trying to emotionally, mentally, and physically prepare myself to get in the proper headspace to read. In 5 years. Oh, let me put my timer back on. In 5 years. So, this is a story about a type A lawyer with a perfect life who wakes up and spends an hour 5 years into the future. After the hour passes, she wakes up again back in 2020. Yikes. Unable to shake her dream, but goes back to her normal life until 4.5 years later when she meets the guy from her dream. To To be honest, I saw this book on Bookshop and I was in love with the foil cover treatment, and I decided that I wanted to read through, and then the synopsis really hooked me too. So yeah, that's this book. I am going to pause really quick and get some front lighting because it looks like I am sitting in a dark room and I am a Dateline anonymous source. So gotta change the lighting. Shout out to my mom for getting me this awesome ring light. I'm gonna put the brightness up so you can see my face. Okay. Two more books. We're doing it. We're doing it. This is 30 minutes of footage. How am I gonna cut this down? Listen, I'm gonna be real with you. I am just trying to live my best Monica Kim life. I absolutely love Monica Kim. She is a YouTuber. I'm sure I don't have to explain that to anyone. She is probably one of my favorite YouTubers at the moment. She does these amazing book hauls and cozy video game reviews and book reviews, and I am just inspired by her. I love her whole aesthetic. I love everything about her videos. They are so calming, and sometimes I just like when I'm working or when I'm doing things, I'll just throw on a video of hers and like have it play in the background. I mean, I do watch her videos, but sometimes like if I'm like doing other stuff, I'll have it play in the background, and it just, I don't know. I'm a huge fan, Monica. I really am. It also partially inspired me to start my YouTube channel too. So, or at least the book side of it. So shout out Monica Kim. Thank you for your content and all that you do. And yeah, I don't know where this came from, but shout out to you. Okay, back to the point. You made a fool of death with your beauty. This title, this cover, look how vibrant and beautiful it is. Faye is 5 years after the love of her life dies, is trying to find love again. That is the plot of this book. It is another one where the cover totally got me when I saw it on bookshop.org, and the summary brought me back. And the final book. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. This is one of my currently reading books. Two friends, often in love but never lovers. This is a different kind of love story. This is another book that I picked because of the cover. I actually got this book as an uncorrected proof on NetGalley. I'm gonna pause my timer. I had seen it on the cover of NetGalley's site, and I decided to click on it and see what it was about, and the synopsis itself hooked me. But like the dodo that I am, I completely forgot that I requested it. And like with a couple of other books that I requested that day, I didn't realize until after, when I revisited NetGalley, that all of the books that I requested had been not only granted to me, but I hadn't checked. And so they expired. I really wanted to read this book anyway, and I really wanted to review it and submit my review to NetGalley. So when I saw it was in the Book of the Month shop, I added it to one of my boxes in the past couple of months. And this is another book that I'm currently in the middle of reading. I'm actually in the middle of reading 4 books. This book,
I'm not sure I understand.
Okay, Siri. I'm not sure I understand either, if I'm honest. I also don't understand my reading trends. I'm sorry, Siri. I'm reading this book. I'm reading Book Lovers. I am reading Name of the Wind, and I am reading another book that I got from NetGalley that I'm almost done with, and it's called Never Ever Getting Back Together. And that book is about That book is a romance or contemporary fiction novel. It is about two women named Maya and Sky, and they are both invited to be on a Bachelor-esque TV show in which their ex-boyfriend, Jordy, invites them to be on this TV show to see who is the one that got away. And the plot is really good. They are they there for genuine intentions, or are they there to exact revenge on this guy? And will they end up falling for each other in the process? It is a really good book. I'm actually almost done with it. I am forcing myself not to finish it just yet because I have 3 book reviews that I have to write this weekend. So I don't want to finish another one until I write those reviews. So I'm probably going to do that after I edit this. But I think that's it. I think that's all. Oh, and that book, Never Ever Getting Back Together, that book publishes in November. So I will link a pre-order link down below. I guess that counts. So that is it. My 30 books that I have purchased in the past 2 or 3 months. And I guess with the bonus of Never Ever Getting Back Together, that is my great summer book haul. Oh man. So my camera overheated while I was recording the sign off, but anyway, as I was saying, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sticking around for however long you may have stuck around while I chaotically try to review these books. I haven't purchased a lot of books in a while. I live with my parents for right now, and I was living with my grandmother for a little bit last year as well. And so over the past 2 years, I have kind of been on a physical book buying ban because I don't have enough space and I still have a bunch of books in storage. And until I get my own place, I don't want to, it will be very easy for me to accumulate a lot of books, as you can see. But I don't know, this summer I was like, oh, I have a book review blog, I might as well buy books. Not the most financially sound idea, but anyway, so thank you so much for being here. I will try to make this a series, but hopefully I won't have this big of a stack, or hopefully I will actually. I do love buying books, but I'll try not to have such a long video next time. But I do think that this was a great idea. I will be doing a speed dating book haul series. So thank you so much for being here. I love you very much. Bye. This is a hazard for the books and for me. Okay. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Okay, I'm gonna stop filming now. Love you, bye. Another one for the outtakes. In case you were wondering what Champ and Freya have been up to while I record, this is it. Snoozling and boozling.